Tonight, a gag order back on for Donald Trump. The judge overseeing the DOJ's election interference trial reinstating a ban on Trump, saying anything that targets the special counsel's team, or potential witnesses applies. Statements that drew the judge's ire in the first place include Trump's Truth social media posts like this one, quote, all caps, if you go after me, I'm coming after you. Well, out front now, Trump's former White House lawyer, Ty Cobb. Ty, I appreciate your time. So the judge is now reimposing this gag order to stop Trump from making public statements like I just mentioned. But then right after she made the ruling, he goes and he posts about his former Attorney General Bill Barr. And I quote, Ty, I called Bill Barr dumb, weak, slow, moving, lethargic, gutless, and lazy, an all caps rhino who couldn't do the job. Bill Barr obviously is relevant in all these cases, obviously a potential witness. Did Trump already violate the gag order?
Yes, I mean it's a simple order. It's less than it's a short paragraph, but it prohibits him from targeting any foreseeable witness or the substance of their testimony, and clearly he's done that. Even while it was in abeyance, he did it as to Ellis, Chesbrough, Powell, and Meadows, and he'll keep doing it until he provokes a penalty far greater than he's suffered so far in the process.
So Trump's New York fraud trial is, meantime, entering a consequential week amidst all of this. His children are scheduled to testify about accusations that Trump inflated his wealth by billions of dollars to get loans. Don Jr. testifies Wednesday, Eric on Thursday, Ivanka on November 8th. Interestingly, Donald Trump himself is slated to take the stand on Monday, if he does so. Whose testimony do you think will be most consequential?
Well, I think Trump's would be most consequential, of course, if he actually testifies. And I think that's the real question here. Will his lawyers let him testify? I can't imagine why they would. On the other hand, he doesn't necessarily listen to his lawyers and may override them and insist on testifying. Secondly, I think, in my time at the White House, I worked closely with Ivanka on some things. I found her very conscientious, smart, capable, and honest. And I think she's put a little more distance between herself and the business than her brothers. Neither of whom do I have any reason to believe will slant their testimony. But I have a high degree of confidence that if Ivanka testifies, she'll testify truthfully.
So, Ty, I want to ask you about one. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Sure, I was going to say one thing on that. I mean, I think it's possible there'll be an appeal on Ivanka's testimony because I think it's a much closer call than the trial judge did in terms of her being required to testify.
Ty, one other thing I wanted to ask you about, just as a quick follow here before we go, on the point about the gag order. What do you think is next, right? I mean, so the gag order went away for 9 days. It gets reinstated. He says these things about Bill Barr. What he got fined $10,000 for him, that's, pennies. No matter what his real wealth is, it's still pennies. So where does he end up on this?
Well, the New York judge fined him $10,000. That's in a civil case. That's not as consequential as Judge Chutkan's case. I think Judge Chutkan, prudently allowed Trump to try to persuade her to extend the gag order. She concluded, on the basis of his conduct this week, not to do so. And I think she'll come in with a much heavier penalty. And ultimately, I think he'll, spend a night or a weekend in jail.
Wow.
I think it's going to take that. I think it'll take that to stop him.
Wow. That'll be an incredible thing to actually see happen. But you think that's where it goes?
I do.
All right. Ty Cobb, thank you very much. I appreciate it as always. Good to see you.
Great to talk with you, Aaron.
All right.